it's Easy Rider. Welcome to the channel. Out on the road king today. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, share, leave comments. But most of all, subscribe and share to get other people to subscribe. I need subscribers. Thanks a lot. And if you can't finish watching the whole video, if you could just take that slider down at the bottom, fast forward it all the way over to the right, that would help me out with YouTube. It doesn't show up as a short watch. It doesn't necessarily mean that I get 10 minutes of viewing on a 10-minute video. I'm only going to get the 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever you watch, but it's not going to show up like you just bailed, and then that silly algorithm that they use will kick me into a bad area. I'd appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
All right, let's go.
But today, oh man, I can't remember his name. I'm going to have to put it in text down at the bottom because I can't remember his name. There's another channel. He talked about when you're too old to ride a motorcycle, or when you have to give up because of age. And so he put that out last October. I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description, and I will definitely write out in text the name of his channel because I just can't remember it. Now that's something that happens when you get old, I guess, too. You don't remember shit. You get CRS really bad. But anyway, I don't think you're ever too old to ride a motorcycle if you've been riding. Now, you may be too old to start riding if you haven't been riding all your life. That's probably a distinct possibility, but what that age would be, I don't know. For me, I'm 69. I've been riding since 1964, since I was 13 years old, off and on, not constantly. In my youth, I had a few years where I didn't have a motorcycle, not all together. I had a year here, maybe a year or two there, and I was between bikes. But I've been riding bikes constantly now for a long time. And I can't remember now when I wasn't without a bike at all. How, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, he was talking about some guy on a Gold Wing that his wife or significant other that they were riding with, he met him at a gas station, and when he went in the store, she told him that was probably going to be their last ride because he dropped his bike a couple of times and couldn't pick it up by himself, so he was going to give it up because he was embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed to ask for help to pick it up. The fact that I can't pick it up is not a reason for me not to ride at all. It might be a reason for me to not ride on really long trips where I'm going to be in remote areas, or just ride in remote areas where I won't be able to find help. But if I got to ask somebody to help me pick it up, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not giving up riding just because I'm not strong enough to pick it up. I just bought a Dyna. It's 140, 145, maybe 150 pounds lighter than this. I can just pick it up. But I'm sure that there'll be some situations where I still won't be able to pick it up. In gravel. If I drop it in gravel, I'm not going to be able to pick it up by myself. If I weighted it, probably anything over 400 pounds, I'm not going to be able to pick up by myself. But right now, I don't want a bike that only weighs 400 pounds. At least not as my main bike. I might get a bike that I can ride on the forest roads and the primitive roads to get the things here in Arizona that you can't get to on good roads. I might get a small, lightweight bike for that. But no, the weight is not a reason for me to give up riding it. And or at least that I can't pick it up. If it gets where I can't turn it at low speeds in parking lots because of the weight, that I can't respond to the weight. Now that's a reason to give up that bike, but it's not a reason to quit riding. Eventually I know I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to give up my Harleys. I just love Harleys, but I've ridden other bikes and like them, enjoyed riding them, and that's, you know, if I got to go to a 650 or a 750 Suzuki or Yamaha or Honda Cruiser that only weighs 450 pounds, well, that's what I'm going to do. Nobody's going to drop their bike. I don't care if you're 18 years old. You're going to drop your bike. I've dropped every single bike I've owned. Other than riding in dirt until last August, I've never had an accident on a motorcycle where I went down and slid along the road and hurt myself with the bike. That never happened until last August. But dropping it at a dead stop or at almost stop, oh God, I've never had a bike where that hasn't happened to me, even when I was a teenager. And I think when I was 37, 38 years old, I was as buffed out as I ever got. And I was fairly buffed out. I mean, I didn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he was young, but I had big muscles and I was really strong. But I dropped my bike. I just picked it up. The only reason I could see for giving up riding because of your age is if you're just too infirm or you're too sick. You know, it's just not fun anymore. If it's not fun anymore, yeah, there's no point in riding. I have a lot of pains. I have a bad back. My back and legs hurt terribly after I've been riding the bike for a while, but I can go about a couple of hours before it starts hurting. My wrists and my hands hurt. Sometimes my wrists and hands hurt within 10 minutes after getting on the bike, but they don't hurt so bad that I don't want to ride anymore. Now, I plan on riding for a long time. But, you know, I can still ride for a couple hours, and if I get off and walk around a bit and then sit down in a different position in a chair in a restaurant, get something to eat, then it gets better, and then I can get back on, maybe not for another 2 hours, but I'm good for another hour and a half, and I can do that again. I can do that for probably about, where my total day of riding is going to be 6 hours, counting breaks. So long trips are out, but you know, I don't have to go on long trips to have fun riding. And I remember several of my long trips in June were 15, 16 hours, just stopping to get gas, use the restroom, and get a quick bite to eat. I think he said he was 54. I might be wrong, and I'm sorry if you're a lot younger than that, but that's probably about when I started feeling more fatigue and pain when I ride, was in my early 50s. And my mid-40s was when I rode the most. I never traveled. I traveled one time when I was 19, San Diego to the Grand Canyon. I didn't like it. I was miserable the whole time. It was in March of 1971. My back hurt then, my hands hurt, my legs bothered me. I never traveled again until 91. But yeah, I'm 69 now. My right hand and wrist is already hurting me after probably just 15 minutes. But it's not hurting so bad. I want to get off and go home. I still want to keep riding. That's why I haven't really gotten rid of this Road King yet. I got the Dyna because it was lighter. And there's a lot of gravel around here in Arizona that you have to get into, or you're just not going to go places. And so I got to be able to push it around in the gravel from when I'm parked. I got to be able to back it up. And this was just, it was impossible in a lot of places. I just couldn't back it up. So that's why I got the Dyna. I'd always had Dynas or other FX models. As the FX models came out. This was my first and my only touring bike, was this Road King. I like the FXRs, the FXS, the FXDs, FXDLs. I liked all of those. And now I got an FXDWG. Now, I'm not going to give up riding anytime soon. I may have to give up the Harleys. That may become a reality in the next few years, but I think I'll still be riding a bike in the 400 to 450 pound range into my 80s if I live that long. In fact, I keep telling my wife that she wants me to give up riding, especially after I had that accident in August, but I'm not going to. Well, this is getting to be pretty long, so cut it off. Thanks everybody for watching, and don't miss the next exciting adventure of Easy Rider Craig.